Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Rick Guiney, who's CEO at MicroSalt. How are you today, Rick?
Hi, how are you today?
What's interesting now, we're speaking in the aftermath of the H1 2025 trading update, is that, at least to my mind, it looks like you're turning a corner. You've described a very esoteric or enigmatic development, which is customer number 3. Maybe you can talk about that.
Yes, sir. That's very true. We've been working with our mission is to lower sodium across the globe, and we've been working with the largest food companies in the world. And these sales cycles take a while. And we finally gotten to the point where we've broken through with the customer number 3, and we have some serious volume numbers coming through to us beginning next year, or perhaps even the end of this year. We don't really know just yet. But it's a real sign that MicroSalt is becoming embraced within the larger community. We have a lot of interested prospects. We have a number of current customers, but to make a breakthrough of a single item of this magnitude is certainly our watershed moment for us. And I want to point out that the numbers that we mentioned in the release are only for one item, Zach. It's not a whole production across the whole company. It's one item only in North America, which speaks to our enormous growth potential even after we realize this volume increase.
But just going on from that, what are the barriers to you having numbers which are 10x what you have at the moment? Is it market awareness? Is it capacity? Is this a genuine world-class significant company with a significant product?
Yes, sir. It's an iconic company across the world. You can imagine a single line item requiring $5 million worth of salt just for North America. If you do the math backwards, it's a lot of individual servings. I will tell you that from the investor clarity standpoint, we virtually have no ceiling. There is salt in almost every food made across the world. Walk through a grocery store, Zach, and you'll see every item in that store needs to reduce sodium. So they're all potential customers. What happens to make this done is it's really simple. There's 3 basic steps. The customers have to test MicroSalt in a bench format where they look at the reports and they play with it with their hands and they see if it's going to work. And they progress to batch testing where they make a little bit of their product. And they actually send the final product out for focus groups and consumer testing. And then you get to the big step. You say, okay, listen, we think this is going to work. We're pretty sure it's going to work. But now we got to turn off our existing machinery. We got to shut down our plant. We got to make the new reformulation and run it through the plant with the regular people, the regular products, the regular packaging, and see what comes out. And that's the product that goes out for the final testing. And as you can imagine, these are very big companies. So it's this very big ask when we come around and say, hey, you need to shut that line down for 5 hours. Okay, that's not something that just happens overnight. And in one case, in this particular case, we waited 8 months just to be able to break through their production schedule. It's got nothing to do with commitment. It's got everything to do with their business model and the production that they need to make. But they understand that it's an investment that they have to make because they're not going to go to market with a weak product. Now, you don't get to that production testing without assurances internally that it's going to work, but you still have to do it. And sometimes investors lose sight of the fact why is the sales cycle so long? And it's just that. You have to work through the steps. These aren't small companies. Their production runs aren't small. Their machinery is running 24/7. So for us to walk in there and say, okay, stop, it's a big ask, and it takes a while. In another case, in part of our 2026 growth, is we've been waiting over 9 months for altered packaging so that they can begin to produce the new items that they've committed. But they had to wait for the packaging to come in. So, okay, so there are a lot of things that impact our start date. But the message here is that once they start, they stay with us. They literally can't go back. They can't reformulate. They can't go back to a high sodium level. So once we're patient, once we do the hard yards, which we have done, and you get started, you're there. These customers are going to be customers for years.
Right. So in terms of, it sounds to me like, well, obviously, as I said, I've followed the company since the start, or at least since you came to market. You have reinvented the wheel in terms of sodium and salt intake, and which is quite a big thing to do. And also in terms of your counterparties, if there is a delay or the company has taken longer than some people thought it might do in terms of getting to where it is now, that is because large companies, the larger the company, the longer it takes for that particular oil tanker to turn around.
Yes, sir, that's very true. It does take a long time, but it's worth it. It's worth the hard yards because then you have and in our case, we have an extremely large customer that's committed to us. We're committed to them. So in the long run, it'll prove dividends. And again, I want to stress this is one item and only in North America. Once North America gets settled down, we start talking about Europe. We start talking about India. This item is made across the world. So we're very happy with our progress.
Yeah, and just finally, I take it that the numbers and the orders and the activity that's happened to date is largely in the nature of toe in the water types of deals and contracts signed rather than what they would be in a year or 2 or 3 years' time.
That's a great way to describe it, Zach. It is very much, I might say they might be walking ankle deep rather than toe in the water, but yes, you start small. We started with this particular customer in their Mexican division, and we've done really well with their Mexican business. We love our Mexican friends, and it's been a catalyst to go forward. They've seen that it works in Mexico. They've seen we can conquer the logistics of being in the salt business, and it's only off and running from here.
Well, we look forward to that. In the meantime, Rick Guiney, CEO at MicroSalt, thank you very much indeed, and thanks for talking to me.
Thank you, Zach.